Bonjour YouTube, welcome back with another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the new Imaginarium theater that just reset today. New elements, new bosses, new enemies, etc., new buffs. So this one is a bit challenging. I mean, I've seen a lot of people complain that this one was a bit tricky. The elements are not the best. Hydro, Cryo, and Geo don't synergize the best together. You don't get a ton of damage necessarily, so... but with this video, I hope I can help you figure out a way to clear it on your account. This Imaginarium Theater, we don't need to get the stars yet, but starting next Imaginarium Theater rotation, getting 9 stars can give you up to 1 transient resin, a bit of artifact XP, and an elixir. So those elixir where you can craft some... where is it? Yeah, this. Where you can craft some artifacts with it when you choose the main stat and substat. So this is kind of nice. Once again, it's not game breaking, so even if you don't get the stars, you're not losing on primo gems or anything. But if you want to get the stars next time, I'll continue making those guides for the Imaginarium Theater, and hopefully it will help you. First, as usual, if you want to get maximum rewards, you will need a Visionary mode. So with hard mode, you can go up to 8. With Visionary, you can go up to 10 and get up to 800 primos. But yeah, you will need like up to 22 characters level 70 minimum to be able to unlock the Visionary mode. Otherwise, for hard mode, it's at least 16 characters to start the difficulty, level 70. And then now, in terms of enemies, so regarding the bosses, we have this Geo boss that has a shield and lets you plunge. So this one is not too hard, honestly. It's at the start as well, so it doesn't have too much HP. And breaking the shield shouldn't be too hard, whether you have a Claymore. Even if you don't have Geo character, you can just bring a Claymore character to break the shield. You can plunge and it breaks pretty fast. After that, we have the Cryo Wyob. So this one is the local legend that you have in Nalan, where you need a lot of healing to buff. Basically, the boss will spawn a copy of himself and like some sort of spirit or clone that you have to heal yourself a lot. Even if you're full HP, the heal will still count. And the more you heal, the more damage the clone will deal to the boss. So even if you don't have too much damage, as long as you're able to heal a lot, you will be able to defeat that boss pretty easily. You really don't need too much damage. I did it with Noel, Cookie, Barbara level 70, and then Yelan, so it wasn't like a ton of damage or any crazy reaction or synergy. Now, third boss, we have the Legatus Golem. So this guy, you need some Geo or some Claymore once again. Preferably Geo, you really want to break the shield as fast as possible because it still has a lot of HP and not a lot of downtime. So preferably bring some Geo. If you have Noelle, honestly, you can just bring her level 70 and then just use her abilities to break the shield and then DPS with the rest of your team. Or if you have Zhongli, it's going to be great. Navia can be pretty good here as well. So... And then the last boss is where it becomes a bit tricky because this is the Nadland boss where you want to use Night Soul Blessing State to make the rotation faster. But with the elements of this abyss, of this Imaginarium Theater, you only have Cryo, Hydro, and Geo. You don't have a lot of Nadland character. You have Kachina, you have Shilonen, and then you basically have, I mean, you have Silali and Moalani, but not everyone has those necessarily. So if you have none of the Nalan characters other than the 4-star, you basically only have Kachina. So it's not really easy to maximize the thing for the last boss. But there are other solutions that will show you. But yeah, if you can save the Kachina and the Shilonen for the last chamber, or if you have Silali or Moalini, it can be pretty useful for the last chamber. Personally, I did it with, even without too much Nalan, like if you just have Shilonen, and if you use the Neuvillette from the trial, I used that one on my second account. I was able to clear with Neuvillette, Farina C0, and Shilonen C0, plus I just brought a Cryo to get some reaction, and that was pretty fine. So if you have your Neuvillette, your Shilonen, your Farina, it shouldn't be too difficult. One problem with this element as well is that there's not a lot of 4-stars. Hydro 4-stars, we only have 3. We have 3, 4. Barbara, Xingqiu, and then Candace, and that's it. So only 3 Hydro 4 stars. It's not a lot. Cryo, there's a decent amount. Geo, there are a few. But yeah, it's not easy to complete. So for like for a lot of people, it's gonna be difficult to get the 22 characters. But once you have those, I would say it's not that hard. And also remember that you can invite supporting cast. So I would recommend if one of your friend has a good Risley, a good Farina, a good Shiloh, a good Neuvillette, something like that, definitely worth picking from the support cast. Navia is also going to be really, really strong in this theater. So yeah, anything like that should be pretty good. A C6 Yalan can be insane. Maybe a Yato can be pretty nice as well. But yeah, something like this. So if you're able to get the maximum amount of characters, you will get a buff as usual. Some extra attack, some extra HP, defense, and EM. The EM here is kind of useless, to be fair. But other than that, can be useful, but it's not needed to clear the mode at all. And as usual, my best tip for Imaginarium Theater priority at the start of the run is to pick up some characters, preferably the ones that you don't want to keep until the end. So, well, here I got kind of unlucky. I got 2 good characters, but yeah, try to pick up as many characters as possible at the very beginning. Like, for example, Eula, she's okay, but here in this one, you have no Electro. I could have picked the cookie that they give us, but other than that, yeah, she's not really that great in general. So getting the Eula out now, using her for the early stages where the enemies are not too strong is great. I would say in this one, the freeze blessing are really, really strong. You will most likely end up using some freeze team at the end, and having the cryo hydro buff is going to be pretty good. Gives crit damage, so it's pretty solid. Honestly, here I already got 2 characters, so I'll pick this up. Now, in terms of chambers, they're pretty good. In terms of rooms to pick up, once again, like always, the rune enemies are super easy to kill. Especially the first chamber, so I would always recommend to choose the rune enemies. After that, if you have Mwalani, those rooms with the pyro avatar are super nice for Mwalani, or if you have any hydro DPS like a Yato that are not necessarily like insane damage and that you will not necessarily use at the end, but you can use early, for example. Here against these fluid avatar of lava, they're super good. They have perma pyro infusion, so if you have a hydro or even a cryo DPS, you can perma vape, perma melt. It's really good, and it makes the room pretty easy. Here I can perma vape. It's gonna be pretty nice. Ayato is gonna constantly vape on the enemies, and it makes it really fast, honestly. Oh my god, the Conde Ayato buff being pretty cute. So here we arrived at the battle defense sequence. For the battle defense sequence, I really would recommend the Avatar of Lava. They're much easier to defend, but honestly, any rune enemies is also pretty good. Let me see if I can get the Avatar of Lava. So yeah, these ones are a little tricky. They spawn quite far from you, and then almost 3 at the same time every time, and then they jump. So I wouldn't recommend the Lava Churls and stuff. I would either recommend this one because it's 1 enemy, or the Rune Guards. The Rune Guards are pretty easy. And the Avatar of Lava are really easy. It's literally 1 avatar, 1 by 1. So you can see it's just 1 enemy, 1 by 1. So it makes it like you can stall basically forever. You can basically stall forever. So you just attack them. Also, they have perma pyro. So if you really want to kill them, you can do that. But as you can see, like they don't move too much. And then you can just stall forever basically. Okay, for the first boss, make sure you bring some claymore or some geo to make it easier. Break the shield fast. Can plunge like that. You don't need to do anything, you just need to jump. And then you just DPS non-stop until, if you're too slow, the shield will respawn, and then you will have to break the shield again. But honestly, it's not too bad. And once again, this rotation, the stars don't matter yet, so don't worry too much about that. So now, when you get to this boss, basically what you want is as much healing as possible. So as you can see here, I was not ready, so I only have Siege Wind, which is still pretty good healing, but it's still not that much. So I brought Nuvi as well, just in case. And the more you heal, the more that clone that the boss spawned. You can see the HP bar. The more you heal here, the more it's going to deal damage, okay? So you can see this laser. Every time you heal, it will improve the laser, and the boss will take more damage. And so if you can just bring healers in your team, and it's gonna deal a ton of damage as well. Just having a ton of healer, you can go triple healer with one support or one DPS or whatever. Quadruple healer even should be fine. So yeah, you can use the Barbara that you don't want to use necessarily, or you can use like a Kokomi and stuff like that that are not necessarily going to be super useful for the future bosses, and just bring them here, and then it's going to be pretty easy. I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, boom. So yeah, just bring as much healing as possible for this boss, and it should be fine. Okay, so now for the third boss, you want some Geo to break the shield. So Navia is a great option. If you have Zhongli, I didn't manage to pick him up this run, but if you get Zhongli, perfect as well to break the shield as fast as possible. Claymores doesn't necessarily have to be Geo as well. Claymores in general will break it pretty fast, and then you just want to deal as much damage as possible during the downtime. It takes a decent amount of damage as well, so if you manage to grab a few buffs from the blessings, like, it's gonna be pretty fast once you break down the shield. And yeah, honestly, it goes down pretty fast with Navia solo, so you don't even need like that much more. And boom. And yeah, Geo, a little bit of damage. Make sure after like a certain amount of, after like the second boss, you start picking up some blessings. Mainly, as I said earlier, freeze and maybe a bit of Geo blessings. And then it's gonna be pretty straightforward. And then for the last boss, the Nalan boss, so every time you enter Night Soul blessing state and you use some Night Soul points, you see that gauge of the boss, it's gonna fill it up. And once it's filled up, it's gonna spawn some pillars that you need to go up on to break the things that are spawned, and then you can deal a lot of damage, because before that the boss will have a lot of resistance. Like, you will deal almost no damage to the boss. So if you have Silali, she's fine. The other ones are not that great. Kachina can work fine. Shironen doesn't work that great for this, unfortunately. I mean, she's good for climbing the pillars, but after that, other than that, she's not like that insane. Oh my god, with the buffs. And after that, once the boss is down, you can DPS it like that, and that's pretty much it. So Silali is the best, but if you have Shiro, Kachina, you can bring them both in the team as well, or you can just do Shironen and still deal damage to the boss even before it spawns the pillars, because you can still deal pretty good damage, especially if you maxed out the blessings properly. So. And that's basically it for this Imaginarium Theater, honestly. Nothing crazy. Once again, get some characters at the start. Start picking up some blessing around halfway through the run when the enemies start to be a bit more tanky. Make sure you bring the right characters for each boss, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, honestly, classic. If you have Navi, if you have Navia, honestly, this IT should be a breeze. Navia will take care of the two Geo bosses, and then Navi can take care of the healing one and the last one pretty easily. He has so much damage, even F2P, so with the blessing, it's gonna be really easy. And once again, this rotation, you do not need the stars. The stars are going to be more important starting next rotation, so for now, it doesn't really matter too much. And if you don't have enough characters for highest difficulty, my best tip is to start slowly working on the characters, like slowly work towards level 70. Like, level 70 is not like insanely expensive, I would say. Like, yeah, this is here. That's what you need for level 70. So you need 16 boss materials, and then that's it. The rest is like pretty fast to get. You need 16 boss materials. So in about, yeah, I think in about, like in a few days, you can level up a decent amount. If you're liking Mora, level up, farm a few ley lines, and then it goes pretty fast. It's just that most people are not really interested in investing in characters they won't play. But if you want maximum rewards in the Imaginarium Theater, get those primos, get those resources. Leveling up just a few more characters, level 70, is not too expensive, and in the long run, it's going to be useful. So if I have one last thing to say is, if you haven't built your Rosaria, level your Rosaria, guys. She's so broken. Like, level your Rosaria. She's OP. She's my favorite. She's not my favorite, but like, she's one of the most underrated 4-stars in my opinion. Anyways, I hope this guy was helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments. Let me know if you managed to get all the stars. If you need more help, feel free to join the Discord. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.